But yeah, you could argue that GuMiho has some of the best TvT in the world. I would contest that Ryung maybe has better TvT than GuMiho, but I think I might say they're top 2 when it comes to Terran versus Terran. But here we go, we're getting to our next matchup, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the South Korean, typically Terran player, but now he is the Protoss. For Team Vitality, it is Maru. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing his new team, representing Seoul Esports. It is GuMiho, also known as S8UL. Let's go. Again, all the top players have since been picked up by other teams. As we mentioned last night, as we have been mentioning for the past couple of months at this point, or maybe 4 weeks at this point, Estrella is the only player that has yet to join a new team, and I feel like a lot of whether or not he will join a new team is relying and residing on his DreamHack Dallas performance. So looking forward to seeing and cheering for Estrella there, and I'm hoping that he is able to have a good run. Again, Estrella's been on fire as of late, so best of luck. As we have had new teams like Seoul Esports, for example, step into the ring, and support players like GuMiho. We had Sentinels, of course, pick up Showtime. We had Weibo Gaming pick up Shin. Virtus Pro for Classic. Just all the big names. As from here, we are settling in. So far, single gas opener bodes well for Maru. So GuMiho does open up with a Rax Expand economic opener out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, Maru back at home going for his own Gate Cyber Expand setup standard opener out of Maru. Sorry, just dying for a moment. But yeah, so far so good. We do have a Sentry base open as well. Very safe play out of Maru, going for his Sentry, going for Lose Nations. Now, I'm curious to see how Maru's play has changed over time. Last time we cast him, he played a lot of Blink Stalker. He played a lot of Twilight Council into 3 or 4 gate Blink against Percival. We'll see if that trend continues. There we go, Twilight Council out of Maru. There are options here. You can go Stargate, you can go Robo. Robo play is very safe. Maru, I would imagine, would want to enjoy something more blink heavy, something more micro intensive. When it comes to Clem's PvT, for example, it's very standard. Clem, he very often plays 3 gate blink into a third base, into the mid game, into Storm. Like, Clem is very standard when it comes to his play. When it comes to his Protoss, we'll see how Maru fares. Now we do have our 1-1-1 follow-up. We have the faster tech lab on the factory. Ooh, actually, never mind. No SCV Scout. No SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout. A very fast starport and tech lab as a result. GuMiho just preserving his gas in preparation for those Cyclones. And this can be Cyclone into a second Cyclone or Cyclone into early tank. Or we could even see an add-on swap. The lock-on, though. Lock-on is brutal. Stalker is going to go down. Yeah, massive pick-off early on. Nicely done here by GuMiho. Second Cyclone is on the way, and GuMiho is going to be dropping. Speaking of, here comes that drop. So the goal here for GuMiho is to try to catch out the economy, to try to get some economic damage. Hallucination moves in. And Maru the Scout is going to be denied. Shot goes up. He does not see what's going on. For all he knows, there could be a tank, there could be another Cyclone, there could be an add-on swap into Banshee play. It's going to be a Raven follow-up. But Maru is in the dark. Behind this, how many gates? We're getting up to a 2-gate or a 3-gate setup. Very safe. It's a 3-gate blink. Maru, he does miss the drop. Uh-oh. And the drop is missed. GuMiho starter steps in. Gets 1, 2, 3 probe kills. Very nice damage, and he does get away. 3 probes, 1 Marine. That is well worth it. So base gets thrown down. GuMiho is here to deny. Maru out of position. Blink is not done. Ooh, in this space, it's gonna go down. Aye. And Maru getting pulled apart here. Again, 10 seconds before blink. GuMiho, oh, threading another drop. He shouldn't delay. Yeah, there we go. Blink is now done. Takes down the medevac and takes down the Cyclones. So nice cleanup here from Maru. Unfortunately, this was needed 10 seconds ago. This was needed before the first cancellation, so GuMiho is in a better position. Hallucination does get a full scout. It does confirm the tanks. It does confirm the add-ons. Now GuMiho is building up. It's building up back at home. Maru is still trying to claim that third base. Now taking up into a robo, into a forge. This should be for charge and +1. Should be. Yeah, there we go. Charge on the way for +1. This is standard play out of Maru, but the problem is that he is delayed because of the late third, right? Because of the disrupted economy, because of late expansion, like everything is a little bit shaky here. Everything is a little bit off. As Maru does head towards the main. Oh. Tanks are in position. Maru getting high ground vision. Does see the 3 tank setup. Maru, he should not push into this. He cannot push into this. Instead of rotating over towards the natural. Behind this, safety immortal. Third base getting saturated. We should soon be seeing a bay into Colossus production. That should soon be upon us. As GuMiho is expanding, getting a 3rd CC. If you recall, we had a lot of all-ins out of GuMiho during the qualifiers in TVP. But not this time. Oh my god. Yeah, brutal tank shot. Oh, he blinks in! Brutal tank shot's going up. He gets 1 tank. He gets 1. He barely gets 2, but that was not worth it. He lost so many stalkers in the process. That should trigger a counterattack. That's how many stalkers going down. That was what? That was 8. 8 stalkers with 2 tanks. And there are how many left? 6. 6 stalkers remaining. GuMiho does on siege. Dropping into the mineral line. You know what that was? That was a patience blink. That's what that was. Patience. Get out of here. Go back to the military. No. As GuMiho doesn't push out, he's going to be dropping instead, claiming a 3rd. Claiming a 3rd base. Colossus production has begun for Maru. Getting into Colossus. Oh. Doesn't quite catch the medevac. Does drop in, just forcing reaction. Maru, he does respond to the drop. At the same time, here comes GuMiho going for the 4th, and Maru's out of position. He's out of position or where he needs to be. The base is under fire, and he does get here in time, baiting at the mine shots. At the same time, he drops back in. Oh, no shot. 13-14. The entire mineral line goes down. Late reaction out of Maru. Does not pull away in time. That's going to be 15 probe kills. And can we deny extend double lance? We can. It's going to be shut down. Completely denied here. Massive snipe on the tech. Can he get +2? He can, and he will. Oh god. Brutal damage. Going back in once again. Going for the expansion. He wants it. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Does not get the Nexus. Kiting back. Widowmines are waddling in. The base is still getting low. Oof. The mine shots are brutal, and here we go. GuMiho, he breaks on through, takes out the Colossus, takes out the expansion, and he has pulled Maru apart. GG gets called. GuMiho takes game number 1. GG. GuMiho does take a lead. Again, solid play there out of GuMiho, very aggressive as well. Maru just had a really rough opener. For Maru to be forced to cancel his base, for his scouting to be denied, was just a really brutal start. So there was a lot of pressure on Maru in the aftermath. If you remember, after the initial defense, after he finally got his third base, he did get across the map. There was pressure on him, and with that pressure being on Maru, he did decide to blink into the main. He lost everything though. He lost so many stalkers, and the problem with losing all those stalkers, it means that drop play is more effective. It means that there was that much less to try to keep up with the multi-pronged aggression of GuMiho. That's why he was pulled apart, because he was lacking stalkers, because he was spending his gas elsewhere on Colossus, on upgrades, on Immortals as well, and less on stalkers, as they should have survived the early to mid game. So because of that, he just didn't have those stalkers to defend. He could not keep up with the multi-pronged aggression, and with that, GG. GG well played. GuMiho does pull Maru apart, and now we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Maru can bounce back, recover, and force the ace match, or if GuMiho will take it from here. Let's go. So we're loading into Incorporeal. Since when is Maru playing Protoss? I think he first played Protoss maybe like 2022, maybe? It's been a couple of years. We've casted Maru off race, we've casted Hero off race, Dark off race. True. Recommend checking them out over on YouTube. Over on the CranKy Ducklings, as we're now getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left hand corner of Incorporeal. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing his new team, representing Seoul Esports. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean, now Protoss, not a Terran, not anymore, representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Now, I should emphasize, even though we've casted Maru play Protoss before, like, this is the first time he's playing Protoss at GSL. True. Like, first time he's playing it at GSL. And once again, just to reiterate, if you didn't watch the CranKy Ducklings, if you didn't watch us cover the qualifiers, you would know that GuMiho already beat Maru with his Terran. Like, they already played a TvT. GuMiho already beat Maru in the TvT. I imagine that is part of the reason why Maru is no longer playing Terran against GuMiho. That's why he's switching to Protoss, as we already covered that match. And GuMiho did take it. That was in the qualifiers for this tournament. So for now, double gas. Ooh, double gas open out of GuMiho. GuMiho going for a more aggressive start. Maru does scout, does confirm. And welcome to Incorporeal for the first time tonight. Incorporeal is one of the larger maps in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. So I'm curious what the plan is here for GuMiho. With double gas, you can go into Reactor Reaper Hellion, you can go for early Cyclones, early drop play, you can go for early Starport. Early aggression here, or early tech, is what GuMiho is going to have available to him. And a later expansion. A later CC. Technically, you can turn this into an all-in. I don't really see that happening on a map like Incorporeal. Like maybe a map like Torches, for sure. Like some of these smaller maps, we can see one-base all-ins. But here, GuMiho should be expanding. I mean, it is GuMiho. Like, he is crazy, so have to always bear that in mind. But there we go. There's the expansion. Otherwise, Maru is opening up standard. TvT is dicey AF. Kind of. I mean, if you remember, I would say that's about all mirror matchups. I think that all mirror matchups are more coin flippy than the other matchups. That's why even before Clem, who was Clem copying? Clem was copying Raynor. Like Raynor, he avoided ZVZ way before Clem avoided TvT. Like Clem, he only started playing, competing as Protoss, what, last year? Whereas Raynor, he's been playing Protoss for years at this point to avoid ZVZ. Like it's not uncommon for players to avoid mirror matchups and play Protoss instead. Was it infamously Scarlets back in Heart of the Swarm played Protoss against DRG? True. I say famously, really. I would say that applies to all mirror matchups, except for PvP, I suppose. Like there aren't really many examples of a Protoss player off racing. They just play PvP. True. So now we do have our early tank production here out of GuMiho. If you recall, we did mention we did try to emphasize GuMiho's build, double gas into what? Double gas into 1-1-1, into an early tank push into an all-in. So he's going for the early all-in. This is designed to break a player going. No, we had a start. I was so distracted with what we were talking about. Stargate opener out of Maru. Maru, he's in danger. He's in trouble. Again, Maru, he has so little to defend because of the Stargate. He has an Oracle, he has 2 Phoenixes. There are Cyclones to protect. Ay, ay, ay. As GuMiho is rallying across the map. Pylon is under threat, under fire. GuMiho rotating. I mean, the stasis trap can delay. As GuMiho, he does rotate. Does he notice? Oh, he doesn't. But only on 1 Cyclone. GuMiho, he does pull the boys. The boys are being pulled. Now, the reason why he's pulling the boys is because right now Maru, he's vulnerable. Because of his opener, Phoenixes, they struggle against this kind of style. They struggle against early all-ins like this. Just because, what can they do? They can lift up the tank, but there are so many Marines and Cyclones to protect the tank. Like, the tanks, they should be safe to push forward. Immortals are a must. They're on the way. GuMiho knows he's so close to breaking his opponent. Liberation has arrived. The boys are here to repair the Cyclone. And the one and only shield battery is going to go down. And the problem is that if we break the natural, we break the robo. And that's going to be the death, the end of Immortals. Does start step in, going for the pylons. Second Immortals are about to pop out. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are pulled. Immortal does pop. Does go for the lift. Not quite. Going for the medevac instead. There you go. Lifts up the tanks. First Immortal gets started down, second Immortal as well, and GuMiho has done it. GuMiho, he has done it, he has broken through. Again, this is basically a hard counter to all in the player going Stargate. Maru, he just wants to play some mid-game. He just wants to play some StarCraft, papi. Yeah. The robo goes down, the Bay as well. And there's no answer to these tanks. Remember, there's no Blink, there's no Charge, there's no Twilight Council. There's no way to deal with this army. Does lift 1 tank, but the Phoenix gets targeted down. And so does the other. Yeah, the Phoenixes are just targeted one after the other. GG gets called, and GuMiho will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the winners match. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here. GuMiho does claim the series, does advance on. Again, this was almost a hard counter. I think I would say with confidence, it was a hard counter here to a Stargate opener. Stargate play, this is why it's so risky, is that you are so vulnerable to early all-ins and early aggression like that. Like, you're so vulnerable and it's so difficult to defend, to survive. Even players like Maxplex and Hero struggle with it, which is why they often don't play Stargate. Typically, Stargate play is reserved for larger maps like Tokamak, maps like Maganatha. To be fair, I think I would say Incorporeal is one of those maps as well, which is why it was a close defense, and there's a chance that maybe Maru squeezes out an extra Immortal and he's able to pop off like an NG overcharge, have more shield batteries, but regardless, he is broken then and there. That was a very tough hold, and with that, GG, well played. GuMiho, he does claim the series, and Maru having a bit of a harder time here in the first round, does get knocked down to the elimination match. Oh boy, does get knocked down. And with that, we have our group setting up. As we switch our scenes over and catch up on the brackets. As we catch up on the group itself, here we go from the top. Classic took down Raynor 2-1. GuMiho took down Maru 2-0. And up next, we have our winners match. It's going to be Classic versus GuMiho in that best of 3. Likewise, we also have the elimination match of Raynor versus Maru in that best of 3 as well. So best of luck to our players, to our competitors. We are going to be going on a short break as we are halfway through the broadcast. When we come back, we'll have Classic and GuMiho facing off in that winners match to determine the first player to make it through into the playoffs. Oh boy. I just ran Dallas top 40 illegal. It looks like they're all there. Yeah, we just looked at it. Again, I do recommend checking out our breakdown if you wish on the podcast, but like, all the top players are there. All the top players are going to Dallas. No one is not going. Like, almost no one. As we mentioned, like, Nightmare's not going, but Nightmare's very inactive. And so there are a handful of others. But with that, we're going to be going on a break, so we'll see you guys soon after the break with Classic versus GuMiho. See you soon. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.